welcome to my channel, Tip for Tap Tarot. It's me, Kia. I'm going to do a pick a card or pick a pile reading today, which is going to be the question of, it's based around, like, am I on the right path? Are you on the right path? Because I feel like everybody asks that. We ask it, probably all of us, multiple times throughout our whole life. It's very common for everyone to ask that, and it comes up all kinds of different times, on our journey here. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm going to do a very particular spread that's like, it's actually what I call my trust my gut spread, and I think it kind of fits very nicely with that. So it's kind of like a twofold thing here. Am I on the right path, and should I trust my gut? Because I do believe that deep down inside, all of us in our gut know what the right path is. And you do probably know you're on it, the right one or the wrong one. So I got three choices here. I have pile 1, which is the Tarot del Fuego. I have pile 2, which is, I believe it's called the Tarot of Antique Anatomy. And then I have the Wild Unknown Tarot deck. So go ahead and pick either based on the pile, or you can look down in the description box and pick based on the timestamps, the numbers. I will see you at your pile. Hi pile 1, you've chosen the Tarot del Fuego as your pile, and today we're asking if you're on the right path. And I'm using a specific spread here, what I call trusting your gut spread, and the reason I chose that is because I think that deep down inside, that gut feeling you have, if you are or you're not on the right path. So I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose and breathe out slowly through your mouth. And I ask that question, are you on the right path? Because deep in your gut, you know if the answer is yes or no. And this spread is going to tell us if that gut feeling you have is correct. Just because your gut says one thing doesn't mean you're actually doing it. Sometimes we go against our gut. But I think that those two go hand in hand, because sometimes it doesn't matter, like, what the outside messages or forces are. Maybe things going on around you, you're going in your gut, you're kind of going against it per se, or maybe you're going, with it. It doesn't really matter, but I think they go hand in hand. Whatever that answer was, when you took that deep breath in and you breathed out, when I asked, are you on the right path, yes or no, you know. And so we're going to find out, are you on the right path, and is your gut, why you should trust your gut in that. That's what I think is so amazing about tarot, and that's kind of like the point of my channel, is I want to teach you and help you realize that you can figure this out on your own, I suppose. So this is really just confirmation, is how I see it. So I'm going to lay down a few cards, 5 cards, and then I'm going to pull some clarifiers. I'm going to put them face down, pull them over one at a time, because they each have a specific question attached to them. And then, we'll pull some more cards. So that's the first card. It just flipped over. Whoop. Well, the second one did, but I'm gonna only take. By the way, I don't do reversals. I don't feel like they're needed necessarily. Sometimes I take note of them, because if it's really like, I don't know, I take note of them. Like, I'll just put it that way. The first card there is what's the situation. So the next card we're going to be laying down here is going to be how accurate is your perception. Now remember, we're asking, are you on the right path? But we're also going by your own gut feeling. Is your gut feeling right? It's kind of a twofold thing here. So we got, what's the situation? How accurate is your perception? How can you further understand the situation that you're in? And the next card is why you should trust your gut. And the next one, the last one, well, before I post some clarifiers here, is what you should do moving forward. Alright. So, the first one for what is your situation is we have the Page of Cups. Okay. Sorry about my camera. It's nighttime. My camera's shitty. The Page of Cups. So, your situation is... seems like really lighthearted. I will say this, when it comes to this deck, if there's no fire on the card, that's important, because the whole deck is pretty, you know, it's Tarot del Fuego, the deck of fire, so there's no fire here. Your situation is something, it's very lighthearted, naive, maybe you just got some good news. She looks like she's relaxing in a cup of milk with her boobs out. Like the mountain is down here. She's over the mountain. There's like a lack of stress. She's like incredibly long hair. I think hair is generally like symbolic of like some kind of like power. So there's like, you have a lot of power in the situation that you're in. Her eyes are closed, so she's obviously incredibly relaxed, because if you can just sit back and close your eyes, then there's not much to worry about. That is the situation that you're dealing with here. Relaxed, peaceful, not much to worry about, kind of, not that I necessarily would always describe the Page of Cups as being stable, it's not like that's what I would associate with it, but with this image, there's some kind of stability here, because she's just so relaxed in this cup, like it's like a hot tub, you know? That's what I'm seeing. Maybe you've gotten good news recently. Happy good news. Yeah. So how accurate is your perception? You have the Six of Wands. It's a card of victory. You might have even gotten good news about something that you have just like started to create, like, I mean, really, it could be anything that you've created and made, be it with like your own two hands, or your ideas have kind of come to life. You invested, and you've gotten to this point of victory, and like maybe some kind of recognition from other people. And I mean, there is a sense of like potentially people, I think when you get to the Six of Wands energy, there's like recognition, so there's going to be haters and fans. So I feel like how accurate your perception is of the situation is probably pretty accurate, because it's balanced. You're recognizing that there might be people who are hating on you or against you or what have you. Then there's people that are on your side and look up to you and think you're great, and you recognize both aspects of that, and you're succeeding. So far, this is a pretty good energy. So yeah, I would say it's pretty accurate. Your perception of what's going on is accurate compared to what the situation is. You can close your eyes. You can lay back, sit back, and really enjoy what you're doing and where you've been going in life. How can you further understand the situation? Is you have the Seven of Pentacles. So you might, whatever the situation is, honestly, I'm not getting, like, yet, anyway, a bunch of detail. But whatever the situation is, like, it might be a little bit, it's progress is all I'm going to say. Is like, you're making progress, you're succeeding, you're getting through it. It's not like winning the jackpot, you know. You didn't become a millionaire overnight. It took hard work to get where you are, but you're successful. You're starting to see the fruits of your labor in this situation, and that's probably why you can sit back and close your eyes. Like, and that's why, like, I'm just, like, being brought back to this picture. Like, the Six of Wands is about victory and it's about public recognition, but this person is, like, putting, like, there's wands in all these people, these little monsters' mouths, so it doesn't matter what haters have to say, because you're succeeding. Surely but slowly. You are starting to see. It doesn't, like, if people were, like, putting you down in the past and saying, like, oh, your ideas are silly, or you can't do this, or whatever it is, like, that is silenced, really, because it's silenced by your success. Okay? You are, like, this guy is, like, walking over fire to catch these coins, you know. It doesn't matter. Like, the negativity that maybe others might have is really just moot. You're making progress. You're starting to see the fruits of your labor, and, like, you're very much in, like, you might be in, like, somewhat of a transitional kind of place here materially. Like, it might be a little bit challenging. Like, you've had some kind of success here. You're succeeding, but it doesn't mean that you're not, like, rolling in the dough, is how I'm gonna put it. I don't know what the situation is fully yet, but whatever we're dealing with here on the path of life, are you on the right path? So far, it's looking really good. Your gut. So go back to when I asked you, take a deep breath in and let that breath out, and are you on the right path? What did you hear? Did you hear, yes, I am, no, I'm not? Well, I'm going to assume here that you probably thought yes, because you are, remember, anything could change here. We don't know. I got 2 more cards, and I could probably pull some more clarifiers, but so far it's looking really good. Like, so far you are on the right path. You are succeeding. You might have had some good news recently. Even if, like, your physical material world has some kind of challenge in it, and there's, like, I feel like you might be teetering. That would be why you're asking if you're on the right path. Because you are succeeding, but it's not like necessarily super big either. It's not like 10 of Pentacles energy. It's 7. Okay? There's a struggle here. There's still some kind of struggle, but it's not the worst. The next card here is why you should trust your gut, and you have the 2 of Swords. Well, the reason you should trust your gut is because you're not, like, there's no hard, concrete answer that you're going to get at this point where you are in your path. You're not going to be able to figure out, there is no clear yes or no. Like, how do I put this? Like, you have to make a choice without necessarily knowing all the facts. It's like if you're going to invest in a new business and you're starting a new business or a new job or whatever it is that you're doing, there's a sense of like you're not going to have, there is no clear like black and white like, yes, this is it, you are going to succeed, or no, you aren't. So you should trust your gut because kind of in a way that's all you have. There's a sense of unknown. You have to make a choice here, what you're doing and where you're going, but you don't have all the facts. There's no possible way to know the future, you know? So really all you can do is rely on your gut and your intuition. That's like probably your best, like, the best attribute or skill or whatever, what have you, in this situation that you're dealing with. That's like your best bet, is actually going with your gut. That's what the 2 of Swords is saying here, because you just don't know the future. There is no like hardcore like, oh, don't do it, it's wrong, or do it, yes, it's right. There is none of that. You have to go with only what you're feeling is right, and where you're going, where you know, the situation that you've been in, it is showing some type of growth. And that's why you should trust your gut, because there is some kind of growth and it feels right, and you can really only trust, like, you know, his eyes are covered up, his mouth is covered up by a sword. Oftentimes this 2 of Swords does show a person who's blindfolded. So there's a sense of like, you can't, everything that's gonna, you just can't always trust your eyes. Can't always see with your eyes. You have to feel it, you know, with your intuition, with your heart. Alright? And for what you should do moving forward is the King of Cups. That's definitely following your heart. It's strategic. It's strategically following your heart. I feel like this card in particular is saying like a lot of amazing greatness is going to be built on top of you in the, like, and what I mean by that is like by following your heart, you're going to be successful. I also feel like in this card it shows a lot of, you know, the moon and sun, like the moon cycles. So I think it's also reminding you that there's a sense of needing patience. Probably something about doing what you love. Are you doing, like, so that's another question of, like, we're asking, are you on the right path? So you have to ask yourself, are you doing what you love? Because you have the Page of Cups and you end with the King of Cups. Are you doing what you love? Are you following your heart? Following your heart doesn't have to be stupid. You know, the King of Cups is somebody he's a king, so by default, he's going to be strategic, you know, emotionally. Even though he's much more emotionally and heart-based, he's still strategic. So it doesn't mean, like, being naive and stupid. Although we kind of started off in that situation of the Page of Cups, which is a much more naive kind of energy. So I guess what this is really saying is just make sure you kind of graduate your thinking to don't stay in a naive kind of energy. Make sure you are being strategic, but still follow what you love. I mean, so far what I'm getting is that if we're asking, are you on the right path? Yeah, absolutely, you're on the right path. I see victory. I see growth and reaping what you sowed. It's slow. But whatever the path that you're on, it's not necessarily it's not, it can't all be explained by mental mind strategy kind of energy. Some of it is definitely based in more intuitive energy, and that's why and you should keep going the way you're going. I don't even know, like, how much clarifying cards I need for this pile, honestly, because it seems pretty straightforward to me. I think that you are on the right path. I feel pretty confident in saying that. I guess I'll ask about what you need to do moving forward. I will ask about that, the King of Cups here, because it's being strategist in emotion. It's like following your heart, but also still remaining, you know, it's just not. Alright, we have the Four of Cups. Why is the King of Cups here? And the King of Wands. I will say that whatever it is you're doing, there's okay. All right, here's what I just heard. Like, there's something about not actually taking other people's, I don't want to say it like that. I don't want to say, like, don't take other people's opinions into consideration. I don't want you to be like that, like closed off, but it's like something about, like, not letting other people cause you doubt. You know, you don't want to listen too much to other people. Okay, so the Six of Wands right here, okay? This is a card about victory, but it's a card about public recognition. And you see how, like I mentioned this before, how he's this hand, I don't know if you can see it, but he's throwing all these wands. They're all in these people's mouths. Like, their mouths are, like, shut. Like, they can't say anything. They can't do anything with their mouths, right? And the Four of Cups here is about, it's about someone who's like retreated to themselves. They've become apathetic, right? Like, if you know, the Four of Cups, it's like a like more of a loner type of energy. It's more contemplative and I don't want to say apathetic. It is apathy. I mean, Four of Cups is apathy, but I don't want to say it like don't give a crap at all what people have to say. But there's a warning here about don't let other people and their doubt stop you. Okay? In this King of Wands, this is a confident person. This isn't someone who's gonna, like, people aren't gonna be able to tell. This is someone who's gonna be able to, they're gonna get public recognition. They're going to be esteemed and looked up at, and they're not someone who's going to just they're not gonna, like, stop what they're doing just because some haters say they don't believe in it. So you might have that around you. You might have other people telling you what you should do, how you should do it, why you should be worrying, or whatever. Maybe there's a certain thing you're doing and people are telling you it's risky. I mean, there is some sense of doubt here, some sense of risk here, materially, in whatever you're doing. But what you should do moving forward is be confident, be a king. Okay? Man or woman, it doesn't really matter. You need to be a king. King of Cups, King of Wands, it doesn't, either, both of them, being a king, are inherently a strategic, mental type of energy, okay? So really this is saying, like, validating that, yes, you're on the right path, your gut feeling is correct, you should follow your gut, because maybe you should be, you know, not only, like, in a way blinding yourself to what other people might be saying, like causing you doubt, but also like shutting your mouth. You know, you don't need to tell everyone what you're doing. You can just let them watch. You know, there's something about here, because I mean, his mouth is got a sword in it, which is, one, if you're speaking the truth, because swords are mental and their speech and it's the truth. Reminds you of the Ace of Swords, but also, you know, their mouths are blocked up. So there's something about here of, like, it's like, why don't you just walk the walk, walk the talk, whatever they call it. Like, you don't need to, like, tell people what you're gonna do. You don't need to use your words to you don't need to argue with people around you and try to explain to them why you're right or why you're doing this or whatever. You just need to do it. It's a doing kind of thing here. Alright, you don't need, it might be better to keep quiet about certain things and just do them. And then also, just be careful about who you're asking for advice from, because if you go around, if you take all of your friends and family, pick every single one of them out, and you ask for advice, they're all going to give something different, and you're just going to confuse yourself, right? Sometimes it's better to just listen to your own gut. Block that all off, you know? It's not like I'm saying don't take advice, but, you know, I mean, shit, even what I'm saying, you know, take it with a grain of salt. That's literally what this reading is saying. Like, you need to, it is saying trust your gut whatever your gut told you. Are you on the right path? Are you on the right path? Yes or no, you know? You don't need someone else to tell you that. That's what this is saying. You don't even need me to tell you that. And you should trust your gut, because ultimately at the end of the day, like, you're never going to get all the answers, you know? Like, you're never going to get a clear black and white yes or no answer. We all wish we could sometimes. I mean, I've been there. We've all been there. Where you're like at a crossroads and you're like, it's either this road or that road, and I wish I knew what the future held. But you don't. And you just go for it. And where you've been going so far has been really good. So don't let people instill doubt in you. There's a sense of doubt here. You have doubt. Tell me about the Seven of Pentacles. Like, I want to know. You have some kind of doubt, as we all do. That's the Three of Cups. Why do you have doubt? It's 2 threes. Because I got the Hanged Man. It's a 12, but breaks down to a 3. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying you really, really need to not listen to gossip or outside influence. You really do need to like trust yourself. The big thing here is like you need to like be like, there's some kind of like change of perspective that's needed. But that perspective, that change in perspective is not going to come from anybody else. A Hanged Man is in like, the Hanged Man is like, he's by himself, you know? He's not, it's him on his own with his own normal perspective, hanging himself upside down to see things from a different perspective. He's not asking other people for that other perspective. And so, you might have people talking in your ear. And you really might want to avoid that. You might want to just like not ask other people what they think at all. And you might really want to just take some time to like really consider what it is that you're thinking. Because sometimes if you ask too many people, or you keep, you know, you almost don't know what you think anymore, you know? I just heard a quote from a song. I think it's that song, what song is it? Come With Me Now. And he says, what does he say? He says, like something like, well, he says, confuse what I thought with something I felt, confuse what I felt with something I read, or something like that, or like something along those lines, like that idea of like my thoughts aren't original. Yeah, confuse what I thought with something I felt, confuse what I feel with something that's real. Yeah, he says there's like a lyric in that song. It's called Come With Me Now, and there's a lyric in there that's something about, you know, all his thoughts are something he's read. Or something like that. Come with me now. Oh, come with me now. I'm gonna take you down. You know, that song. Go look that up. It's good lyrics. So yeah, you confuse yourself, is what I'm saying. If you're thinking, if you're constantly looking up or asking people what they think of your situation, you get to a point where you don't know what it is you really think. That's probably why your gut is a Two of Swords kind of energy, because you're like, I don't know what my gut says, you know? But really that's what your gut is saying, is you need to stop. Stop with that mental. Stop with what you've heard, what you've read, what people say, and instead really focus on, you know, the King of Cups energy. It doesn't mean be stupid. You're still strategic, you still use your mind, but there's something about tapping into your heart space here, okay? Something about contemplating by yourself, letting go other people's opinions, be it positive or negative. And I mean that, like, again, going back to this card, he's blocking all their mouths off, okay? But the Six of Wands is generally about victory, public recognition. Just because everyone's saying good things about you doesn't mean that's true either. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. That's the point. Is like your perception is being based on what other people are saying and thinking about you, and you need to silence that. And you really need to think about what it is that you feel about the situation, what you think, what you feel. Let go of what other people. Don't ask anyone else for any advice. Dear God, let this be the last, like, this video, whatever your situation is that you're dealing with, let it be the last outside influence that you get. Let the rest come from within, or literally from, you know, God or spirit or universe or whatever it is themselves, you know. Let that go. That's what this is about. Okay, so are you on the right path? Only you can answer that. That's what this reading's about. No one else is going to tell you. Just stop listening to what other people have to say. I think I'm going to stop there. I think that's all I've got. Yeah, let me know in the comments if that resonated. And give me a like and a subscribe and all that good jazz. Thanks, Spirit, from this little tip. Tap the like and subscribe button. Bye. Hi, Pile 2. So if the lighting looks a little different and my nails look different, it's because I'm filming your pile on the next day. I had started at nighttime and got through pile 1 and got tired. So we're asking, are you on the right path? And I'm using a spread I have, the Trust Your Gut spread, because I think that deep down in our gut, we already know. And, you know, usually you have some kind of inkling of either a yes or a no, and that's kind of like why you might ask. So right now, take a deep breath in through your nose and let it out through your mouth, and I'm going to ask you, are you on the right path? And what is the answer that came to mind? What is that first gut feeling you had of yes or no? So I'm going to do a spread here. I lay down like 5 cards, and then I can pull some other cards like to clarify. I'm going to do them face down, so I'm going to like flip them one by one. So the first card here is, you know, what is the situation? Like where are you in life right now? What's going on? Okay. The next card is how accurate is your perception. Now we've got how can you further understand the situation. Why you should trust your gut. And what you should do moving forward. Okay, so are you on the right path? What's the situation? And you have the Seven of Cups. So you obviously are asking yourself if you're on the right path because your situation is that you have a lot of different options right now. And you might be, at this point in your life, you might not even necessarily taken too much definitive action, but are kind of like doing a lot of daydreaming and fantasizing about imagining what each choice might look like. That's kind of where you are. So in a way, you might be even asking, what is the right path, rather than like, am I on the right path? Because this is like a kind of a more muddled, kind of confused, possibly overwhelmed by all the different choices type of energy. And you might even have other people like, you know, interfering, like giving you advice on what you should do. Now the Seven of Cups can also be a card about, like, you know, delusions and illusions. So that could be another reason why you're asking if you're on the right path, because you're not. You know, the situation is that, which the next card's kind of going to address, is you might even be wondering, like, is your perception of what's going on and what each choice like entails, is that accurate, you know? Because then there's that fine line between like daydreaming and fantasizing, and then like kind of buying into an illusion. So that's where we'll leave that one for now. So how accurate is your perception? And you have the Two of Cups. Sorry if you can hear Mario video game in the background. If you're messing with my channel, there's going to be kids in the background. But anyway, so we've got Two of Cups. It says, this one says yarrow, love tonic, and then this one says passion tincture. 1883. That's just the year on it. This one says 1877. Would you go away? You might be being distracted. Like, I've got a couple interruptions, so which kind of goes very good with the whole, like, the situation you're dealing with. Seven of Cups energy, very, like, so many different things and options and choices, things that could even be distracting you from what path that you should be on. So you could be being distracted by even a relationship or a friendship. So how accurate is your perception? Well, this is definitely very emotionally based. It's very, rather than being mentally based, you know, like in the way that you're kind of thinking about and dealing with the current situation and the path that you're on. Sorry for the interruption. Yeah, so what was I saying? You're more, this isn't so much of like a mental and strategic thought process. This is very much more like emotionally based and intuitive based. So you might actually be, whatever path that you're on right now, or whatever you're thinking, you're definitely focusing more on what it is that's going to bring you like emotional fulfillment and love and joy. This could be, again, the situation could be about a relationship. Sorry, I'm just gonna fix my camera. I feel like I'm all over the place with this pile. So I do think that's important. I don't know that this is like clearly like answering a yes or no, that your perception of the situation is wrong or right. But there definitely, it seems to be somewhat at least muddled and confused. You might not even have, like, I don't even know if you have, like, when I asked at the beginning what was your gut reaction, maybe you didn't even feel like you had a clear yes or no. It feels very confused. So how can you further understand the situation? And you have the Page of Wands. So whatever the situation is that you're dealing with, it seems like if you're dealing with a person, this person might be like really immature. Maybe it's the person that's confusing you. Because I do feel like this might actually be about a relationship, and so you're wondering, like, is being in the relationship right, or the friendship, or whatever, connecting with this person. And whoever you're dealing with might be very, like, immature and, like, impulsive. Maybe you're like, I'm wondering if it's a relation. Maybe it's not even a relationship that you're in currently, but it's almost like waiting for someone to choose you. Like that's like the Seven of Cups is representative of this person has all these different options and choices and all that, and you might even be asking, is this person worth waiting for, or would even being with them be the right path? But you're really focused on the connection that the two of you share, where this person is very much more like concerned with, I don't know, like fun and adventure and just experiencing things. So I do think that you might be dealing with like an immature person here. Or you've gotten a message that's confused you. Or several messages, like I was saying before, how the Seven of Cups could be representing like other people in your ear. I wonder if you've gotten several different messages, maybe even conflicting messages. What's Yarrow good for? Maybe look that up. I just noticed that it says Yarrow in here, so I don't actually know right off the top of my head. I'm probably gonna go look it up after, but maybe I'll post it in the description box or something, like a link to it or whatever. But maybe you want to look that up, might be relevant. So for the third one is why you should trust your gut, and you have the Knight of Cups. It says fertility tonic. Also says number 12. So it seems to be definitely a romantic situation that you're dealing with. And, you know, you clearly want that romantic kind of flirty, fun energy that the Knight of Cups would bring. I will say the person that you're dealing with is most likely not. I mean, like people will say like, oh, the Knights, like the Knight of Cups especially, can be like very wishy-washy kind of person, can be very moody, like if you're thinking about negative aspects, right? Knights in general are kind of get that rap as like someone who's kind of like in and out. They show up, they leave, you know. Unlike a king, which would be a little bit more mature and stable, but whoever you're dealing with is like even more like immature than like a knight, you know. They're coming through like a page. So I feel like there's love here. There, Seven of Cups, you know, there it is 7 cups. There is love, but it's still a very like confusing and muddled. Like I wonder if you know, your gut is trying to tell you that maybe you're being a little like unrealistic, or that you are kind of like someone is like got you in some kind of illusion here, and that's what your gut is trying to like speak to you about, because you know, I can see that you want, like I said, romance and that lighthearted, flirty, fun energy. You want some kind of commitment, right? Like the Knight of Cups is bringing a cup, you know, and you want fertility tonic, right? You want like growth here. But I'm not really sure that the Page of Wands is going to bring that. This person seems to bring more confusion. And meanwhile, you're very focused on the just like the love and the relationship and the reciprocated feelings, but there's something to be said about actions. There's not really, I don't see too much necessarily like action here. Like I don't see like stability. I don't see like earth really. You know, pentacles. I don't see like physical material stability, something you can actually like grab onto and hold on. It's very like wishy-washy, up in the air, like feelings, you know. Love is great, but you also need action. Ooh. And for the last card here, what you should do moving forward is you have the Two of Wands. Yeah, that's action. Take action. Take action yourself, you know. So maybe you're the one who needs to reach out. Like, I'm just going to say, like, let's say this is about a relationship and you want a relationship with a person. Maybe you need to be the person who takes action, who needs to, like, bluntly come out and say, let's resolve this Seven of Cups energy and make a choice, you know? Because that is, Two of Wands is definitely making a choice. This is also a very, like, should I stay or should I go energy. It's making plans for the future. It's moving on. Being told to make up your mind. Even a Knight of Cups is movement. You're being told to move. I think that's what your gut is saying, is that you need to make some kind of movement here. Let me get some other cards, because I want to know more about the Seven of Cups. Like, what is this? Oh, what is the situation? I don't know if you could even be choosing between multiple people. If it was the case, I mean, I would choose a knight over. Okay, we get a bunch. All right, we have the Ace of Cups, Love Potion, the King of Swords, and the Emperor. So the situation definitely, like I said, it's 100%. It's about love. It could very well be about, seems to be, it doesn't have to be, but it does seem to be about a man, in regards to a man. And I'm wondering if you're so confused because this person, like, or if, I'm really curious if there's actually multiple people involved, because it almost seems like there's one person here that might be more like immature and impulsive, and then another person who's more like calculated and maybe more guarded. Maybe that's why you're confused, because the person who's really immature seems ready to, like, more open and ready to go for it, but at the same time there's like that lack of stability. Unless, of course, the Page of Wands here is meant to represent you, and you're the one who's ready to, like I said, like, you're the one who's focusing on, like, the relationship and love and ready to jump for it and go for it. And then this is the person that's maybe much more calculated and slow, and that's what you're, so that's, you could be what you're asking. Yeah, tell me about the Page of Wands here. Or actually, tell me about, I want to know about your perception. Two of Cups. The Hermit. And the Hanged Man. So you're waiting. You are definitely waiting for something or someone. Or you've, even if you could be in a relationship even, and you've gone inward and you're really, like, looking into yourself and trying to figure out, you know, is this the right thing for me? Which is interesting, because this is like the placement of, like, how accurate is your perception, and usually the Hanged Man is someone who's hanging upside down, and so his perception is actually different and changed, which is an interesting thought, because he's changing his perspective. But, you know, if you're upside down, it's not necessarily accurate. But he's not upside down, he's actually, you know, hanging upright here. It's like you're like waiting. I'm wondering why you're waiting. And I'm wondering if that's whatever it is your why. I feel like your gut might actually be telling you to stop waiting. And to make a choice. Specifically, be with the person, don't be with the person, this person, that person, whatever it is. Like, to make a choice. So you're that's what you're asking. It's like almost like you're asking which path is the right path. Am I supposed to go, or am I supposed to stay? Tell me about, so the why you should trust your gut for the Knight of Cups. This is movement. Hold on. Maybe you're supposed to be making a romantic offer. That's what you're wondering. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you're like, I don't know, maybe the person you're interested in, like, let's say it's like this one person, and let's say you're actually coming through, like, the page here, that this person could be older than you. This person could be, like you said, more reserved, and maybe what's making you hesitate is you actually don't know if they even have the same feelings for you at all, and that's making you hesitate. And I get the Queen of Cups. Beauty potion, number 13. And the Nine of Cups. This is definitely all about love. Absolutely. One more. Why you should follow your gut. It's saying follow your heart. So, I mean, I think the worst case scenario, if you're thinking, how does this person feel about me? I mean, the worst case scenario, as much as it sucks, is you're going to get a no. The Three of Swords. Yeah, and the 10 wanted to pop out. So it's definitely a matter of the heart. And maybe you've had your heart broken. And that's what's causing you to hesitate. Whatever it is, I don't know if you're staying with someone and who you're not feeling the love from, and you're feeling like you know that they love you, but it's still confusing. Like you're curious if the situation, you're under some kind of illusion, and your heart's being broken. So you're like, should I go? Or you're wondering if something about that, some situation in which you're waiting. Either A, you're waiting in a relationship and you're wondering if you should stick it out and go, or should, like, something like that. Or should I stick it out and wait for this person to ask me to be with them, or actually commit to me, or like maybe should I be like the one. I don't know how they feel, so I'm afraid to like tell them how I feel, something like that. And for what you should do, it's definitely a relationship and a matter of the heart, no doubt in my mind. Okay, hold on. If you don't resonate, then this is probably not your pile, because I wasn't gonna go specifically relationship. Like pile 1 wasn't relationship related. I mean, I guess all of life kind of is, but this definitely is. So what you should do moving forward? Two of Wands. Make a choice. Make a plan. Do something. Look to the future. Yep. Now, I don't know. I'm not doing reversals normally, but I do think it's pretty important in the way that this Four of Pentacles came out in reverse, because that's usually an energy of like holding on. And we have the Tower. So you are urging to make some kind of drastic move here, to just do something, whatever that is. So, and like I said, that's why I chose, like we're asking, are you on the right path? And I chose the trust your gut spread, because I do think deep down in your gut, you know what the right choice is for you. So think back to when I said, are you on the right path? And what did you hear? What did you feel? Then this is actually urging you to go forward with that. And for whatever reason, I suppose something about what it is that you feel like you should do is going to be, things won't be the same, I guess, no matter what it is. If you, like, let's say it's someone that you want to just come straight out and say, I have feelings for you, I want to be with you, do you want to be with me? I guess, like, no matter what, regardless, whatever their answer is, things aren't going to be the same. Like that Tower moment, things are going to change, you know? Or if you leave somebody, or you move on, or you pick one person from over the other, whatever it is, and that's, you know that, and you are being urged to move, make movement, go follow your heart, listen to your intuition, because you're not wrong. I'm wondering if you're concerned about, like, I'm wondering, I mean, potentially, because there's so many cups, there could be like a drinking problem. I don't know, maybe you're in a relationship with someone and you feel kind of like responsible. Like maybe you're kind of like, that's where your perception is right now, is you're being concerned for them. And you kind of are making yourself like a martyr or something, or you're just allowing someone to like walk on you or treat you bad or something, but you are being urged to stop holding on so tightly to whatever it is, stop waiting. The time for waiting is done, and now it's time to move forward. So whatever that means exactly, you know better than I do. So yeah, I'm gonna end that here, and I hope that, let me know in the comments if that resonated with you, and good luck. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. If you're noticing any kind of difference in like the lighting or even my fingernails, it's because I filmed Pile 1 last night, and then I got tired and decided I'd put the other 2 off for today. So, we are asking, are you on the right path? And as I said a little bit in the intro, I'm using the spread, the Trust Your Gut spread, because I think that deep in our gut, we know if we are on the right path or not. So, take a deep breath in through your nose, and then breathe out slowly through your mouth. And I'm going to ask you, are you on the right path? And what was the answer that came to your mind immediately? What was that gut feeling, yes or no? So hold on to that. So I'm going to lay down like 5 cards for the spread, and then I'll probably pull some other ones like to clarify a few things after we go through it. So the first card is going to be, what's your situation? What situation are you in? What path are you on? What's going on? Second card is going to be, how accurate is your perception? Next one is, how can you further understand, your situation? And the next one is, why you should trust your gut? And last but not least is, what should you do moving forward? Okay. So, first one, you have the Fool card. So this is, what's your situation? So your situation's obviously something that, something new that you're doing, okay? Maybe even, because this is the Fool card, maybe even like something where you've kind of had to take like a leap of faith. And that could be actually why you're questioning why, like, are you on the right path? Because there's something very new about it, something unfamiliar, maybe even something risky. This could be, it could be anything. It could be a new job, or a business idea, or a trip, or like you're moving, or a relationship, whatever it is, something like, new, and you might even be inexperienced in whatever it is that you're doing. Like the way that the Fool is, or in this case, it's, sorry about my lighting. If I turn the little light off on my camera, then you won't see crap. So, but he's a little bird, and he's gonna jump off this branch, so like a little baby bird leaving the nest. So something, a new journey, might even be literally a journey, like an actual traveling thing.
I'm not sure. I haven't checked it
Life-changing too. I do feel like whatever the situation is, it's like really, like it's something like, whatever it is that you're doing is like very like major to your life. Like if you were to be moving or traveling or joining a whole new career, it's something that's going to make a really big difference. And so thus, if you were on the wrong path, it would that would not be good, and it would be very like scary to you. So I think, and this maybe might not even be something that maybe you haven't even done it yet. Maybe you're questioning if you should. Maybe there is a situation in which you kind of like you have this opportunity to take this leap of faith, and you're wondering if that is the right choice. I'm already kind of assuming here that your gut probably is telling you to do it, but might not. Maybe not. We're gonna find out as we go, because it could be the opposite. This could be a like, because the Fool card, while it's like a very carefree and like new beginning type of energy, it could also be representing of like a foolish decision. Maybe someone's offering some kind of opportunity to you, and your gut says don't do it, but we're gonna find out. So anyway, how accurate is your perception? Ooh, the Ace of Swords. Well, your perception of the situation is like right on. Like, you're a very intelligent, smart person. I mean,
No.
even like the whatever it is that you're thinking about, or however you're perceiving it, might even feel kind of like divinely guided, because that is what the Ace of Swords is. It could be even like a sudden realization that you've had about the situation, whatever, this chance to take a leap of faith, this new opportunity, this situation in which you don't have necessarily tons of experience in. But yeah, your perception, I mean, that's pretty straightforward to me, Ace of Swords, that your perception is on point with whatever you're dealing with. You can absolutely probably trust your judgment. That's pretty straightforward, so I'm just going to move on. So, how can you further understand the situation?
I don't think. I've gotten that, like.
We have the Son of Pentacles or the Knight of Pentacles.
Shit on my finger.
So this could definitely be a work situation. It could be a money situation. Something definitely to do with like your material world and your like stability. Which is, it's kind of interesting because, I mean, I see the Knight of Pentacles as like, this is like a very slow and steady kind of energy. It's a good omen for success, especially like material and financial success, but it doesn't happen overnight. Kind of much different than like
Welcome to my world.
the Fool energy, because I don't really picture the Knight of Pentacles as someone who's going to like do anything impulsive. So if you're being if you're feeling urged to take like some kind of leap of faith here, start out on this new journey, I feel like, again, like I said, it's a good omen for success, but it's also saying that like I guess I would say that I would say that you have a pretty good like head on your shoulders in regards to it. Like, you know that whatever it is that this situation is, exactly this new beginning, it requires like commitment and effort and hard work. Even if, so it's kind of like, yeah, it's not like whatever this situation is it's like, that's why I'm almost like thinking it might be like potentially like a new job or something, or a new like some kind of career, or like starting a business or something like that. And so it feels there's a certain level of risk to it, and like you've never done it before, but at the same time you have the drive and the dedication to see it through and to succeed in it. This could also be representing another person. Like if this is a situation, like say someone wants you to move far away from, you know, where you currently live. Let's say it's like a relationship and they want you to move in with them and it's like far away or like totally different place or whatever, and everything would change. Then I would say rest assured that if they're coming through like a Knight of Pentacles, that they are a very reliable, stable person. I always consider the Knight of Pentacles as being like the only knight that makes it across the finish line. Like he's the one who can stand up next to the kings, because he's just so driven and stable and dedicated. You can trust what this person is saying. So if this is representing another person, then I would find them to be pretty trustworthy. Unless, of course, it all depends on, I suppose, what your gut's telling you, because your perception is accurate in this situation. So if your gut tells you that this person, like assuming it's another person, like only cares about money or something like that, or something like is like super stubborn, or like the negative you know, if you're seeing it from a negative point of view is what I'm saying, like you're actually, your gut's telling you not to take this chance, then that would be the negative aspects of like the Knight of Pentacles, would be someone who is incredibly like stubborn and only like driven by the material things. But I mean, so far I'm not really seeing anything negative. So the next one is why you should trust your gut. And you have the Father or the King of Swords, and you should trust your gut because you're an incredibly intelligent person, as I've already said. Like, you know, there's the sword, you know. You are a strategic person. The choices that you make, even if like if you're feeling like like this is about taking this leap of faith, right? This whole new opportunity that has risks to it, this new journey, right? And you're not experienced, or you don't necessarily have like all the, because you know the Fool is usually, I mean, this is a baby bird, right? So it's not like he's jumping off out of the nest, so it's not like he's necessarily like completely grown. He doesn't like have all of the like you know, I mean, it's a bird, so I'm thinking of like the traditional Rider Waite tarot where the person's jumping off a cliff and he's got like just like one little satchel with him, so there's a sense of being like not even fully prepared, or only being able to take what you can carry on your back. So if you're feeling like your gut's saying to do that, then you can trust that, because you are somebody who has probably like already calculated all the risks that are involved, and like you don't, wherever you're like the decision you're making doesn't seem to be coming from like a only impulsive place, you know. It seems to be coming from a very like strategic place. Okay. Yeah, you're very, very smart and intelligent and analytical. So, which is going to definitely aid you in whatever it is that you're, whatever this new journey is that you're going on, or whatever, what have you. And the last one is what should you do moving forward? And you have the Six of Wands. And that is a card about victory and public recognition and success, and you know, I'm also drawn to the fact that it's got this butterfly on it that's rising up out of all this crap. So whatever this opportunity is, this new beginning, this journey you're going to embark on, be it, again, new job, moving, relationship, whatever, it's actually kind of meant to take you out of a bad situation, and out of like a situation of like chaos and struggle, and instead transform you into like a successful person who people will admire. Granted, it's not going to come overnight, but I do feel this is saying definitely go for it. Now, again, on the flip side, if your gut is telling you that this is too risky, I mean, I don't feel that way personally. I feel like that your gut is, I just do feel like it's actually you're being pushed to do this. But if your gut is telling you not to do it, we've already established that your perception is correct and that you can trust your gut because you're very smart. So, even still, what you should do, it still stands in that, whatever your gut is telling you, by following it, you're going to succeed. You're going to find success. And probably some kind of recognition, probably some kind of transformation as well. I mean, I'm just thinking like butterflies transform. This Ace of Swords has a snake on it, which snakes also shed their skin. This is pretty straightforward, honestly. Like, I'm curious what more about, I guess, the situation, I suppose. What is the Fool card? It's a really big, giant, life-changing opportunity here. And I hope that you wouldn't let fear stop you. Because, like, let's say your gut is saying, yeah, you should do this. Okay, do it. Okay, it's a great opportunity. But then you could overthink it possibly and allow fear to stop you. I don't think you should let fear stop you. Oh. Why is the Fool card here? What is this situation? What is this in reference to? Oh, look. The Mother of Swords. I mean, this... Oh, well, and I have Death at the bottom. So I was going to just say that... It could very well be about leaving a relationship. It could be about embarking on your own, because both the, King and Queen of Swords are not together necessarily. They are usually like widows or divorced people. What is this situation about? So it could be about cutting someone off. I mean, it's definitely something new, and I could see how, like, if you've been in a relationship, like in a marriage, for example, for a really long time, it could be really scary to, like, go out on your own. But maybe your gut is telling you that you should. And you have the Two of Swords. So this is like, I can tell that there's something about this is like incredibly scary, because there's a sense of like not knowing, like you have to make a choice. You have to either do this or don't, and there's no possible way to know like, you have to make this decision without all the facts. And you really kind of, the only option is, like, in this card, the sun's blotted out, so there's definitely this sense of, like, being in darkness and not knowing, and being at a crossroads, and ultimately having to make that decision, probably more based on, like, your mind is only going to take you so far, so it kind of has to be, like, based on your gut and intuition, because at this point, your mind has brought you to this point. You can sit there all day and lay out the pros and the cons and do your risk assessment, but and your perception is accurate, but that's as far as it's gonna go. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know the future. And again, if this was about potentially some kind of like ending of a relationship and moving on, if you felt like should you be changing your path towards like maybe breaking up with someone, then I could see that this is showing this Two of Swords. I mean, this is like like what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, it's like a fight. It's like a battle. There's like no resolution to this. You know what I mean? I heard checkmate. Alright, I want to know about the Son of Pentacles, because this is how you can further understand the situation. Because I'm wondering if, like, again, I keep being brought back to now, like, if this was a job. Something about it seemed like financial related, so of course now I'm thinking if this was about, like, say, oh, and there's the High Priestess. If this is something about, like, a relationship, I guess I could see the fear of, like, the lack of financial stability. If you were to, you know, engage, like, end up breaking up with someone. Oh, I dropped a card. But remember, you know, this is what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be moving towards, like, victory and success and doing what it is that is going to be the best for you. And it's like this one, because it's a little butterfly rising up, it just reminds me of like a phoenix rising from the ashes. So you're being reassured that you're going to be okay. And you know that. Tell me about the Knight of Pentacles. And now you have the Daughter of Swords. So, yeah, I mean, I'm curious, I wonder if this has to do with, still back to the relationship thing, because now you have the father, the mother, and the Daughter of Swords, like if there's children involved potentially. If not, I feel like this is still pointing towards the fact that you've gathered all the information that you possibly can, like factual information, that the facts and the using of your mind is not going to get you any farther. You really have to, like, trust in your intuition here and just go for it and trust in the process, really. Dedicate yourself to it, whatever the choices that you make. Just dedicate yourself to it. And I want a little, just like, we'll get some more on the Six of Wands for what you're supposed to be doing. This is victory and creation, victory and fire energy. So, and you have the Magician, big energy here. That's creation. As I'm saying creation, the Magician comes out, and that's literally the next card after the Fool. So this is again reassuring you that, like, whatever it is that you're going for, you're going to, like, you're a master manifester, you're an alchemist, you have all the tools necessary, you're coming through as, like, animals like owls and like big cats, and those are like animals usually associated with like being wise and cunning. I don't know if it's like supposed to be a cheetah or a jaguar or which one, but I have a feeling that once you take this leap of faith and go on this new journey of whatever it is, it's going to start moving very quickly. But you have victory and creation, so if you wanted to start a business, if that's what you're thinking about, then you are going to be victorious. You have everything you need to do it. I feel like this definitely could be career related. Tell me more about the Six of Wands. These cards are like so slippery for what you should do moving forward. What you should do moving forward is just go for it. Start manifesting. It is what you want. because you won't get to the magician until you, like, the fool has to jump off and meet the magician. You have to actually take the leap of faith before you can meet the magician. And now we have the Seven of Wands, which this is now, I feel like it's just showing like a very linear journey. Like, you're going to succeed, then you're going, like, look, like even this one, it's like shining so brightly. Maybe it is that this is something about starting a business or creating something like art or a YouTube channel or something like that, and you have this idea like of, yeah, but there's so many other people who do what I want to do out there. There's no way to know that I'm going to succeed, but this is actually saying that if anything, you're going to stand out from the crowd, like a butterfly, and like this flame, you stand out from the rest. And I think that you know that because you're a smart person. You know that if you put your brains to it and you be strategic and hardworking, like, you have it all, really. You really do. Yeah, and basically that's what this is saying. It's like, so for the question of am I on the right path, or at least is this the right path that you're thinking about doing, I'm going to say, well, go with your gut. Your gut was right. Your perception is correct. So if it was yes, I should do this, then you should, because there's no other. You're basically at a point that is just like you either have to jump off the branch like the baby bird or you don't, because there's nothing else more that you can get. There's no other information more that you can gather to like reassure yourself. You have to. There gets to a point where it's like, okay, now you have to do it. So, yeah. And you have justice. So, everything's going to be good. I see success. I see balance. Yeah. All right. Well, let me know in the comments if that resonated. Bye.